and build back a strong recovery. Chair Powell, can you describe for us the risk you see if Congress continues to delay action on the debt limit, both for our economy and for individuals and families?
Let me start briefly by saying that we have no role and seek no role in what is really at the heart of fiscal policy, except I will limit myself to the two things that other Fed chairs have said about this. One is just that Congress raising the debt ceiling is really the only alternative. There are no rabbits in hats to be pulled out on this. Two really is just that no one should assume that the Fed can protect the economy.
So you hear what he just said right there? There's nothing special right here. You guys need a raise or rent some deep shit. This is like
or the Fed has to call on David Blaine. I don't know,
David Blaine.
Just that Congress raising the debt ceiling is really the only alternative. There are no rabbits in hats to be pulled out on this. Two really is just that no one should assume that the Fed can protect the economy from the non-payment of the government's bills, let alone a debt default or something of that nature, which we don't think will happen here. But no one should be thinking that we have the tools to protect the economy from all the potential effects of that.
So let me take this down. So one reason that he said that last little bit, right, what he keeps warning about, I believe that if they didn't raise the debt ceiling and shit started really going bad, the Fed actually would do it. They would print the money, but it would be very dangerous. What would happen there? I mean, that would start some hyperinflation there.
Yeah, and if they start to lose control of the wheel, what's going to happen? What's the easiest way for them to get out of any responsibility for that? War. So that's the default, if that happens.
Now, I don't want war to happen. Most people it's really a lot of innocent people that suffer in war. If we're being honest, man. It's a ton. And then there's a lot of what is that, like old men send young dudes to die for pointless shit all the time, right? Or maybe the quote was like old men's argument.
That, yeah.
It's about that roughly.
Everybody who wants to know how the government operates, watch the movie The Fog of War. Everything is a number, especially you.
Right, man. Shout out to Max Payne, Smoke and Mirrors. That's right. But I hope it doesn't come. But here's the problem: is that you mess with the United States' ability to print money and the dollars and stuff. They will do just about anything. They'll blow up towers. They'll start fake wars. They'll invade a country under false production. They'll fucking say there's nuclear weapons in some place. Anything. You hurt that petrodollar. Freedom is coming to a store near you. You know what I'm saying? To a country near you.
To a shore near you.
Yeah. So this is actually pretty surprising. I mean, for you guys who haven't seen the Nelk Boy interview and stuff, Trump was on the Nelk Boys and stuff, and he actually was pretty. I don't know how to feel about this one. This is a weird one. Where basically he was kind of saying like, yo, I mean, pretty much he said he would let Taiwan go down unless Taiwan signs basically like they start paying us money for defense. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
If I were Taiwan, I definitely would.
Yeah. Basically, what my the strategy is. I mean, basically, what's going on is we're deglobalizing. A lot of countries we've been subsidizing.
Correct.
Basically, the military for almost every country basically doesn't have much of a military. They do have a force, and of course, they got a police force and stuff, and they do have some military, right? But their military spending is nothing, and then they've been able to fund all that money that doesn't go into military spending goes into their economy. So they've been having a huge economic boost off the United States subsidizing them militarily as well as defending them, right? And keep making sure that everyone just stays in line. Basically, doesn't mean that other countries aren't doing bad stuff and stuff. I mean, every country does horrible shit, but that's what's going on. But as the United States starts pulling their military out of places and stops doing that stuff, if you want to, some countries need to be protected, and basically, I think what's going to start happening is that we're going to probably start taxing motherfuckers, and that's kind of what Trump was already doing. I mean, I mean, you guys remember? I said this on my stream with Rolo. That do you guys remember when oil went to zero?
Yeah, I actually had an ETF that I bought I think it was like $60. I want to see this shit go down. I didn't think it was going to go to fucking negative, but I was like, it's going down, and that chart was looking bad. What did these fuckers give me for being right? Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, all these went basically tits up. You know, we're not paying anybody out. Right? It's a casino always to the traditional market. It's like that's why crypto rocks. But anyways, kind of remember.
Now, a lot of that happened because of two things. All right. God damn it. I'm not trying to make this like a pro Trump thing or a pro anything. So but it's just, I got to say it like the way it is. Right. So basically in 2016, basically we started rugging. A lot of stuff that's happening right now is because we started a trading war and stuff to rebalance basically everything, because everything was very favored against America versus pro America, and then we started doing things to be a little more fair, and countries started spurting the fuck out basically because like no, you're supposed to subsidize me, you're supposed to do this, but how, and all this other jazz, right? China, I'm looking at you anyway. So the United States started that's when, so in around 2016, I guess you could say 2015, but it was really 2016 to 2020. We really started moving factories back to the States, Mexico and stuff like that, and Canada. But more towards the closer we got to COVID, especially with COVID, that's what really like turned the fucking burner on, right? So around that time, because Republicans are really pro oil and stuff, drill. Fracking got to the point where basically we no longer were buying oil anymore from international markets. We were no longer buying Saudi oil at all. For about 4 months, maybe 3 months, but 4 to 3 months, we produced enough oil here in the country for the first time in like forever. I mean, since Standard Oil, damn near.
And all that industry helped also to get Bitcoin mining off and going in Texas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was correct. It was 0 minus 30 and stuff like that. But I got some funny stories. I'll say some. I got a lot of stuff on this. But we were energy independent for sure, right? We were energy independent. We finally hit that goal, and the Saudis lost their shit. They were like, "What?" Basically, oil went. I mean, basically, oil was like this was at the time. I think oil was very close to about $100. We're about $90, $100 a barrel, and the Saudis freaked the fuck out. And what they did there, they did a very calculated move. So they decided to sell 1% of their national oil company, a Saudi Aramco, and IPO it for $2 trillion.
Easy money.
1% of the company, $2 trillion. And the reason they did that is so they would be able to show their oil reserves to the market. And what they showed... so let me tell you, there's all this stuff. It's like, we have to conserve energy. We're going to run out of oil. Peak oil is hit right here. Oil is done. There's no more oil. We got to go to green energy. We got to do this stuff. Saudi Arabia showed they had trillions of barrels underground. Trillions. And this started over the next year or so. That started the collapse in oil prices. And what Saudi Arabia did is that they basically crashed the oil price to basically crush the fracking industry in the United States.